rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Now you can rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Calhoun.
Here.
Dempsey. Here. Fournier.
Here.
Crop.
Here.
McGarity.
Here.
Rick.
Here.
Yor. Here.
Okay, we have announcements, acknowledgements, communications, and reports. I don't see anything listed. Does anybody have anything at the moment? All right, we'll move on to adoption of the agenda.
Move to adopt the agenda as presented.
Support.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions or comments? Call the roll, please.
Calhoun.
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Fournier.
Yes.
Crop.
Yes.
McGarity.
Yes.
Rick.
Yes.
Yor.
Yes.
All right, and this is the portion of the meeting where we invite the public to address the commission. All that we ask is that you come to the microphone, give us your full name, your residential address, and you abide by our 3-minute rule. We will see those in person first, and then we'll go to our Zoom meeting. Is there anyone at this time who would like to address the commission? Anyone on Zoom? All right, we will move on then and close public participation. Moving to administrative responses to issues or questions raised during previous meetings. I don't see anything listed on the agenda. Do you have anything, Mr. Shipman?
There were none.
Okay. All right, we'll move to approval of minutes.
I move to approve the minutes as presented.
Support.
Does anybody have any questions or comments as presented? Okay. We'll get it. We have a lot of new people. Call the roll, please.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Fournier.
Yes.
Crop.
Yes.
McGarity.
Yes.
Rick.
Yes.
Yor.
Yes.
Calhoun.
Yes.
All right, we'll move to general business. 9A, approval of the 41B District Court 2024 budget. I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve the 41B District Court 2024 budget as presented.
Support.
Okay, Mr. Shipman?
Submitted for your approval is the 2024 budget for the 41B District Court. Court Administrator McGrail will be joining our meeting to discuss the proposed court budget and answer any questions from City Commissioners. Please note the court operates on a calendar year, while the city operates on a July 1 to June 30th fiscal year. The 41B District Court serves Mount Clemens, Clinton Township, and Harrison Township. Each community consolidated their individual courts in the late 1990s. Together, they fund the court through a written agreement between the communities. The agreement spells out the funding formula and the responsibilities of the 3 communities. One of their responsibilities is to pass a budget by the governing body of each community and have it submitted to the State Court Administrator's Office by December 31st of each year. Attached is the proposed budget for 2024. You will notice that there is a significant deficit without a contribution from each of the communities. In the early 2000s, the communities bonded and built the current court building located on Grove Spec. Due to a continued decrease in revenue and debt service requirements, a budget shortfall of $919,916 is expected for 2024. This is largely due to the bond payment of the building. The next 8 years are the largest debt service requirements of roughly $1 million due each year. The city's portion of the 2024 shortfall is $128,788.24. Last year, the city's portion of the debt was $82,902.96. The chargeback is distributed among the control units according to the same formula used to distribute excess revenues in the past. That is based on a rolling 5-year caseload average. Mount Clemens' caseload share is currently 14% of the total. In the history of the consolidated court, this is only the second year it's been necessary to ask the funding communities to contribute.
All right. Mr. McGrail is here, and Jim's here to answer any questions that you may have, and maybe give us a little bit of a, you want to give us a little?
Absolutely. Good evening, Mayor and Commission. It's great to see all the new faces on Commission as well.
I think the biggest story of why we have to ask for the revenue, quite honestly, is the caseload has dropped significantly. I think the last page on your packet actually shows the decline. We obviously had a significant decrease in caseload during 2020 with COVID, and it started coming back, and then last year all of a sudden the rug got pulled out from underneath us. That decrease in traffic tickets actually equates to about a $1.8 million decrease in revenue, which obviously we're doing everything we can to minimize that effect to the funding units. Obviously, we don't want to be here asking for money from the funding units, but unfortunately, we're in a situation, us as courts do not get to set our caseload that helps generate that revenue. Obviously, I will answer any questions that you have. I've always offered to Mayor as well, and especially seeing 3 new faces. This is probably your first meeting or second meeting here. Some of these court operations issues, you're obviously new at. I would love to take time even offline with you guys sometime to explain what the court does, why we do it, and how we go about doing it. I personally think, and I think if you were to talk to the communities, other courts, that we're a model court. We are actually, myself and Judge Aceto, our chief judge, are actually asked to go to Lansing regularly to do different trainings, to teach other judges, to teach other court administrators on what to do for best practices. We're always trying to be an innovative court. We have a very significant Zoom docket that the Supreme Court is really pushing as an access to justice. Supreme Court really feels people shouldn't necessarily have to take an entire day off of work to come fight a traffic ticket. And so we've been the model court to get that up and running for the state. This year we're actually one of the handful of courts rolling out e-filing statewide for all the district courts throughout the state. So I raise that only to show you the good, positive things that we are doing. We're not just trying to do the status quo when we do have to ask for money like this.
Jim, do you also want to mention the possibility of the court funding model
State court
changing?
funding?
Right, changing.
So there's for many years, there's been an argument that the current funding mechanism for district courts in particular is unconstitutional. For those members that were on the commission the last couple of years, there was actually a case pending in the Michigan Supreme Court that I think a lot of us thought the Supreme Court was going to rule it's unconstitutional the way that we're doing it, that district courts are in this situation of we got to generate revenue, and is that truly the best way to be deciding justice when we have these pressures of having to decide revenue on behalf of the entities. If anyone were to watch the oral arguments and the questions from the justices, I think it was pretty clear that several of the justices were very concerned with it. That case was pending for, it was almost a total of 2 years, where it's my understanding there were some back channel discussions between the Supreme Court and the legislature about the legislature, you need to fix this. Ultimately, when the legislature did not take action, they issued an opinion basically reversing their grant of leave to appeal, which basically ended up taking no action, either yay or nay. But in their opinions, it was very clear that 5 of the 7 justices feel this is unconstitutional. The current funding mechanism for district courts has a sunset provision expiring May 1st of 2024, and the opinions that were drafted were essentially asking the legislature to try to fix it prior to the May 1st deadline. I think our hope is at some point we are state funded, that these requests are going to Lansing rather than to our local communities. I'm a member of the local community as well. As a magistrate, I have to live within the jurisdiction of our court.
Yes, go ahead, Commissioner York.
Thank you. You mentioned the decrease in 2022 due to a decrease in caseloads, which continued into 23 and not anticipated to change in 24. I don't want to assume I understand why that happened. Can you give any background to that?
If you look at the numbers, it was a significant amount of the decrease was in Clinton Township. I think they have had a change in leadership with their police department that feels that traffic tickets is not the best use of their resources. And I think that's really where the decrease in numbers have come, which I quite honestly, I don't necessarily disagree with them, but unfortunately, you can't have a decrease in those traffic tickets and not have some sort of ripple effects on the funding.
Commissioner Dempsey.
Just a couple of things, Jim. I know, by reading this, I knew that you stopped, was it this year, you stopped the retirement health care? You weren't paying
Well,
into it this year, or is it next year?
We did pay into it. I think there was the original amended budget that we presented for 2023 actually had another significant payment by the funding units. When we did reach out to our auditors for that, they felt we were actually sufficiently funded in the trust
Right.
that we don't need to actually pay that money right now. That's not to say that we won't have to at some point, but this budget that's being presented to you actually is not us making the additional payment in 2023 that best practices would have said we need to make, but at the same time, it's
Right.
not needed. And it also removes that payment for the 2024. Now, it's possible, unfortunately, with a lot of that depends on what are the economics as far as the monies in that trust fund and how the investments occur. So some of that is subject to change as we get further down the road with those investments.
If we're looking to put in 128,788 this year, which I'm thinking will probably be that next year, we will then have depleted what we have gotten back from you over the number of years.
Yep.
And we still have about 6 years to go,
Yeah.
which really is a concern, and it should be a concern, and I know you understand that for us, because if that increases, we're looking at putting a lot of money, just to get the bonds paid and keep you guys open. Not as much as Clinton, but, it's a
It's
significant
not a drop
amount
in the
for us.
bucket.
Right,
It's
it's not
a
a drop in the
significant
bucket that we
amount.
have to, but we have to be budgeting for that, and that.
And the one thing I would also raise, there is a committee working in Lansing for the state court funding issue. From my understanding, one of the things that they're looking at, for those that have been on the commission for a few years, I think they're modeling it after the funding for the MIDC statute, whereby they're actually looking at the past 3 years of how much money a local unit contributed towards the court, and mandating and pursuant to the statute for those monies to be sent to Lansing if they take over the funding of all the courts, and then they'll take on the additional funding. Obviously, that worries me a little bit if that's what they are going to do, as well as what 3 years are they going to look at.
Right.
Obviously, if you were to look at 2019, 2018, 2017, you're in great shape. If you were to look since the pandemic, but those are from my understanding, no draft bill has even been written up as of yet. So all of that is subject, so I would definitely keep an eye on that, and I will always keep your eyes on that as well, that might be a good time to reach out to your local legislators to make sure they pick the correct 3 years, so that it's not hurting everyone down the road, quite honestly.
Are there other things that you're looking at or doing to reduce costs there if we don't believe that revenues will go up, that Clinton Township and maybe Harrison and Macomb will follow suit to do the same thing regarding tickets? It's too bad, it's just that everyone's not driving better.
So we were actually the only court that during COVID, we laid off. We laid off 2/3 of our staff during COVID. Obviously, there was a period there where the Supreme Court actually mandated us to shut our doors, that we couldn't do business. So for a little while there, it was just really having people come in to adjourn stuff. And then as the dockets came back, we were actually very strategic in when we brought the bodies back. We're still down 1/3 of our staff compared to pre-COVID. Maybe 30%, might not be a full third, but about 30%. I only raise that because we truly are at the bare bones staffing. We actually had, I think it was when we first projected a shortfall during COVID, that actually Clinton Township asked the Supreme Court to look at our operations just to make sure everything was as efficient as possible. Their actual letter back to us was we were significantly understaffed. And unfortunately, staffing is really the only variable that we have for the expenditure side. I can tell you right now, being leaders within our court, we went live with the e-filing that I was telling you about. There are roughly about 20 to 30 more courts that are going live with that over the next couple of weeks that the Supreme Court has been sending to our court to learn how to do it. I'm having courts come in there that have 3 times as many civil clerks as I have for a fifth of the caseload.
Do you get any compensation for doing that?
No. So again, the only variable that we have is the workforce, and we are below bare bones. I think in 2021, towards the end of 2021, when we saw the revenue that was coming in, we thought we were through the rough times, that we thought we were going to be able to finally get back to the staffing levels that we had. But like I said, then the rug got pulled out from underneath us, and it was really April of 2022.
Has there been any talk from Lansing about reducing the number of judges since the caseload has dropped so much?
Well, so the caseload that drops, if you look at it, the vast majority of the decrease in caseload is traffic tickets.
Okay.
That's not really something that affects the judicial docket so much.
That's true.
I mean, we used to have 40,000 traffic tickets. Most of them just either get defaulted or paid on. And quite honestly, it's a role that I can run at the court. I have to have one traffic clerk, no matter what my docket is. And I can run that traffic with one clerk or the 10,000 cases or the 40,000 cases with that one clerk. I can't go below one. And that's really where you see this decline. Now, I want to say it's every 5 years, the Supreme Court actually does a time study, a judicial resources study of the courts, where they basically have everyone at the court kind of keeping track of billable hours, if anybody's familiar with that. And they actually make a recommendation of what is this caseload, how many judges should be at that court. Last time they did that judicial resources study, we were actually beyond a 3-judge court. So even if it does decline a little bit, I don't necessarily expect it to decline below the 2-judge level. Once they do that report, then it goes to the legislature on what they would do.
Okay.
Here's what I can tell you, though. My judges actually don't cost you a penny.
I know you did.
Yeah.
You're
It's the
paid.
judges are actually, if you
State.
look at the salaries, the majority of their salaries are actually paid by Lansing. The part that you pay, we pay it to start, and then we get it reimbursed. So even if we are, the shortfall that you're seeing here has nothing to do with the judge's salary. The shortfall you're seeing here are my employees, my clerks that are working. And that, I'm telling you, we are so dramatically understaffed that's not changing anytime soon.
I just wanted you to point that out, because I think when people think, everything's dropped so much, why do we have 3 judges? I think it's important to know exactly why and
Yeah.
what's, but
I
after.
totally get it, totally get it.
Tickets may go up. Thank you.
Commissioner Ray.
With your manning levels where they're at right now, do you believe that's sustainable, or are you going to start seeing like burnout and hiring issues? And
Well, I think we're already seeing that.
Yeah.
We had, so when I started at the court pre-COVID, mind you, a lot of my staff was already working there for 25 years. They could have retired, any day that they'd wanted to. I do think COVID was kind of seeing the changes that were coming to the courts. I think was a push for a lot of my longtime clerks to say it was their time to retire. I have a phenomenal staff right now. I love each and every single one of them. At the same time, I do think there is a burnout issue going on there. The rates that we pay, I lose clerks over to Oakland County all the time. They pay about double over in Oakland County. Rochester Hills District Court has a traffic caseload that's comparable to our court with the 10 to 15,000. They have 6 traffic clerks doing it. I have 1. So yeah, there is a burnout issue. I do think we are in a period right now where, unfortunately, there is a standard in and out of the clerks that are coming.
Commissioner Calhoun?
So regardless of if the payments will be going to Lansing or if things stay the same, which it seems like I guess they won't, do you think our share that we'll have to pay every year will go up as time goes on, or do you think it'll stay about the same?
You know, I can tell you this, Judge Lucido and I try to cut whatever cost we possibly can. Obviously, the letter that we got from the Supreme Court, you know, if we were to state court funding tomorrow, first call I would make is to Lansing and say, I need 10 more bodies today. And I guarantee they grant them. It's all dependent on the caseload. I wasn't expecting in April of 2022 the caseload to dramatically drop like that. You know, a month prior to that, I truly thought we were through the rough periods and, you know, we're gonna be in great shape. Obviously, if the caseload stays similar, it's kind of easy to predict what the future would be. I mean, next year, my union contract is already set. I can tell you it's a 2.5% wage increase for my employees. So that line item's gonna go up by 2.5%. You know, all the others are gonna be fairly comparable. It's the biggest unknown that we have. And historically, the biggest unknown was always that revenue side. I don't know how many tickets I'm gonna write next year, or how many tickets the police department's gonna write. And that's obviously where you can get that biggest variable and the biggest swing. So it's really hard for me to say as far as what to expect without knowing what that caseload is gonna be.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions or comments? All right. What, did you- Okay. Call the roll, please.
Fournier,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
McGarity,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Yor,
Yes.
Calhoun,
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Thank you, Jim. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And again, I would invite anyone, if you ever have questions about what we do, how we go about doing, just reach out to me. Mayor has my cell number. Just call me. I'd love to sit and talk with each and every one of you. Mr. Murray.
Can I ask you to show me what you do with
Everyone but Mr. Murray.
We had to get one in.
Absolutely. Whatever I can do, it's hard when you don't see it every day to truly understand what all we're doing. And we're very proud of the things that we do. We have 4 specialty courts. We're the only district court in the state that has 4 specialty courts. We're very proud of the work that we do. But thank you so much. I truly appreciate your time.
Thank you. All right, we'll move to 9B, approved placement of special assessments for delinquent utility and general buildings on the tax roll.
Move to approve, move to approve the special assessment roll for 2305 to 2306 for delinquent billings and placement on the city winter tax roll for 2023.
Support.
Mr. Shipman?
Each year, it's necessary to place delinquent bills on special assessment rolls for collection. Attached for your review are delinquent utility bills and delinquent general bills broken down as follows. Special assessment roll 23-05 for delinquent utility bills in the amount of $32,769.95, and special assessment roll 23-06 for delinquent general bills in the amount of $197,429.23. Note that a 15% transfer fee will apply to all delinquent billings except for sidewalk invoices, and really that should be any special assessments are excluded from that.
Okay, who has questions or comments? Yes, Commissioner Calhoun.
So these delinquent general bills are being sent to the county for them to try and collect, and then minus this 15%, that's the only fee that they take. Well, how much of that fee do we get back once they collect it?
So the 15% is our fee, it's an administrative fee for transferring the tax. So when these go to the county just writes us a check for all of it.
Great, okay, thank you.
I know I ask this every time.
Go ahead.
And
Okay.
now,
Well, I should know the answer
after all
then.
these years, I should know. Does the county make us whole for everything but the sidewalks, or do we get paid for the sidewalks also?
They make us whole for everything except for once a property is taken over by the county, if we have to cut the grass or do whatever maintenance between then and when it goes up for auction. That we can't
Okay,
get reimbursed for.
okay. All right, thank you.
Does anybody else have any questions or comments? I did ask a question about the large amount of the 197 for the sidewalks. We did 2 sections this year, and I just wondered if that was, typical of what we have seen in years past. And Mr. Shipman explained it to me, so I thought maybe you'd want to hear the explanation as well.
Yeah, so for starters, we did 2 zones this year. We did zone 9 and 10, which we have done 2 zones before. The 2 zones did encompass one of the higher amounts of invoices we've sent out, which was, I believe, was close to 900. And so what was different this time is actually we have somebody new handling the billing, and they're quite efficient. So the billing period for the winter delinquents is January 1st through June 30th of 2023. So in the past, the person that was actually sending out the invoices, those invoices would be split roughly 50% between June and July. The new person actually got them all out before the end of June. So we actually had more delinquents on this, where half of them probably would have carried over to the summer delinquents before. Because we had the same question, why was it higher than normal? But for those 2 reasons, that's why that dollar amount's up.
Good job to this person doing the
Yeah.
work.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions or comments? All right, call the roll, please.
Crop,
Yes.
McGarity,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Yor,
Yes.
Calhoun,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Fournier.
Yes.
Okay. Seeing nothing on the consent agenda, we'll move to item 11 for the city manager's report. Mr. Shipman?
At their November 8th meeting, the Planning Commission approved a site plan for a new 250,000 square foot industrial warehouse building for Alro Steel. The building will be located to the west of the existing Gibraltar building that is home to Ritchie Lute Hardware and Pleasantries. The site will now go through engineering review. Reminder that city offices will be closed on Thursday, November 23rd, and Friday, November 24th for the Thanksgiving holiday. Thursday's refuse pickup will be delayed until Friday, and Friday's refuse pickup will be delayed until Saturday. Curbside compost pickup season is scheduled to end on Friday, December 8th, 2023. The November 7th city election went very smoothly, with 1,916 Mount Clemens voters safely and securely exercising their right to vote. Thank you to our outstanding precinct workers, absentee counting board, and receiving board for their dedication and hard work. The next election in Mount Clemens will be the presidential primary election on February 27, 2024. Recreation, come in and inquire about community events and programs like our holiday card making class at mountclemensrecreation.org, or you can call us at 586-469-6800, extension 520. Information is also available on our Mount Clemens Parks and Recreation Facebook page and our Instagram account. Our upcoming events: 'tis the season to shop local. Holiday parking is free after 3 p.m. from November 17th through January 2nd. And parking is always free on Saturdays and Sundays and weekdays after 6 p.m. We have a downtown decorating contest November 17th through December 22nd. Choose your favorite decorated downtown business. Fill out your ballot and place it in the ballot box in any participating business. The winner will be announced on New Year's Eve before the fireworks. You could win $100 just for voting. Small Business Saturday Photo Contest. Take a picture of yourself at a local shop in downtown. The photo can be in front of the business, in the store, with the cashier, or with purchased items. Submit and share your entry on Downtown Mount Clemens Facebook page, and be sure to mention the business name. Win one of 3 cash prizes. First place is $300, second place is $200, and third place is $100. Winner will be randomly selected during a drawing on Tuesday, December 5th. Contest details are in the downtown businesses. And last but certainly not least, the Mount Clemens Light Parade will be Saturday, December 9th on Macomb Place at 6 p.m. The DDA website has an event map, and you're able to sign up there for the event as well.
And the DDA website is? downtownmountclemens.org. That was,
And there's a
that
link.
was a test and
There-
you failed.
Well, there's a link on our website, too.
All right, does anybody have any questions or comments for Mr. Shipman? Okay, hearing none, we'll go ahead and move on to our second opportunity for public participation. All that we ask is you come to the microphone, give us your full name, your residential address, and you abide by our 2-minute rule. We'll see those in person, and then we'll go to Zoom. Is there anyone who would like to address the commission at this time? All right, anybody on Zoom? Okay, we will go ahead and then move on to commissioner comments. Commissioner Rick.
Thank you, Mayor Kropp. I would just like to remind the public that there are opportunities to volunteer and serve on our boards, committees, and commissions. More information is available on mountclemens.gov under boards. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Calhoun.
I just wanted to say thank you to the Mount Clemens Community School District for partnering up with Jive Turkeys Detroit to hold a huge turkey drive today at the secondary complex, Seminole, and at the Carnes Community Center. The superintendent told me today that they gave out more than 500 turkeys today. So it's a generous effort. So I just want to thank everybody involved in that. And also the tree lighting the other night was fantastic. I was able to stop into a couple businesses, and the elevated foot traffic was very great. A lot of the business owners were excited to have so many people there. So thank you to everyone who put that on, and I enjoyed going downtown and shopping.
Thank you.
I
Commissioner
just want to
Emerson.
thank all the people that participated, all the volunteers that participated in the parade. I know what it takes. You guys did a great job. And it's great to see tradition continue. Thank you.
Thanks. Commissioner Fournier, Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you very much. I just want to say, since I was not at the previous meeting, welcome to all our new commissioners. 'Tis the season to give thanks, and I'm very thankful for your efforts and getting out there and running, and I know it's putting yourself out there, been there. And so, welcome, and very thankful that you're here. And I'm very thankful also for everyone else that is here and working with this team. And it's been quite a year we've had, and we have a lot to be grateful for. When we just looked at this revitalization project and the water plant, all of that going on, and the money that we've gotten back from the state. And of course, Mr. Shipman taking on the city manager position, we are very, very grateful for that. And it's just been a great year, and we have a lot to be thankful for in this city. So with that, I wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Commissioner McGarity.
Thank you. Just want to share two pieces of information. Point in time count, which is usually called the PIC count. It's an annual count of homeless people in Macomb County. It provides a snapshot of all individuals experiencing homelessness in the community. And we need volunteers. And so the day that we're doing it is Wednesday, January 24th from 7 to 11 at night. You do go in groups of more than 3 or more to go to count the homeless, as well as it gives them resources. So we're able to place them in housing and things of that such. When I say we, I mean Macomb County. They do need donations of winter hats, gloves, and scarves, or adult socks, hand and foot warmers, and travel size hygiene products, which is given to the homeless if they accept that. Anyone can make those donations by going to the Verkillian Building, where Macomb Community Action is, 9 to 4, Monday through Friday. Or, I don't know, how do I leave? I have some information.
We'll put him on the desk downstairs.
Awesome.
On the front.
Okay, and there is a direct
Counter.
contact, so if you could just volunteer that time. And on the good note with that, the homeless are out there cold, but they don't have to be. Already started, there is a warming center at one church near 9 Mile and Van Dyke, where they also have a warm bed at night. They get a hot dinner, they get a continental breakfast, they get a lunch to go. The Wave project, which gives them showers, is there Tuesdays and Thursdays. They have case management to help them, and they do clothing and hygiene and much, much more. So if you know some homeless who are in our city, and and it may be a little bit of information. Just tell them they can go to Trinity Lutheran Church near 9 Mile and Van Dyke, or give us a call at Macomb Community Action. We can get them there to that warming center. And I'll leave this flyer with you as well.
Wonderful,
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner York.
Since this is my first official time sitting here, I do want to also congratulate the newly elected commissioners, Commissioner Calhoun and Commissioner McGarity, and thank the City of Mount Clemens voters who who helped to get me into this seat. And I'm just grateful for all the support that I have felt, and I'm sure I speak for everybody, as a newcomer. It's a little bit of hand-holding to get us all started. So thank you for all of that. And I look forward to working to the best of my ability every single day. So thank you all.
Thank you. I too want to reiterate your thankfulness. I think that's I think it's a great theme to end the night. We have a lot to be thankful for in the city, and I'm really excited and really anticipating good things to come in '24. So I too want to say happy Thanksgiving. I want to remind everyone that we'll have a coffee talk only once in December, so December 11th at 9:30 a.m., John's Family Grill. We will not have an evening one just due to commitments for the holidays, as I'm sure everyone is probably grateful for. One less thing. So we'll see everybody in the evening in January. And again, happy Thanksgiving, and thank you again to the parade committee and the DDA for the the tree lighting. It was fantastic. We had a great time. I'm really thankful that all the since we still have our aging infrastructure on Macomb Place and Cherry Street, it was really grateful when they hit the switch and the lights came on. So it was very beautiful. So happy Thanksgiving, everyone, and I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.
There, you